Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. I'm the Magi. And I have pretty much always loved a good Goblin Charbelcher deck. I was super excited when this came to Arena. I used to play it at competitive level legacy events all the time. So when it came to Arena, I completely wanted to build the deck. There was just one problem. It was very wildcard intensive. The more popular one, of course, is it Charbelcher? And for this, I need 24 high rarity wildcards. A less well-known one is the Gruul Belcher that uses Dark Rituals in there. This, I still needed 12 high rarity wildcards. And if we take a look at this, it's pretty easy to see why all of these decks want to make big use of mythics with the original modal double-faced land cards, both for Seagate Restoration. We've got Volkit Awakening, Shatterskull Smashing, and all of these are rares and mythics going on. We do have a couple lower rarities with Song, Mad Treachery, and Spikefield Hazard, but all in all, just a lot of mythic wildcards. Indomitable Creativity's in there, Magnum Opus is in there, just a very wildcard intensive deck. So I've kind of had it on the back burner for quite some time. That is until Modern Horizons 3 came out and brought us a ton of uncommon modal double face cards to enable Belcher. 2024 marks the 70th anniversary of the Godzilla franchise, and just like Godzilla, Modern Horizons 3 is going to be an absolute monster of a set. So if you want to throw your weight around just like Godzilla, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you find this video helpful, be sure to share it out on your favorite social media platform. Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, right. Alright, so let's start with an explanation of what Goblin Charbelcher is for those that don't know. In simplest terms, it is a 4-mana artifact, and well, to be more complex, it's one of the more interesting glass cannons ever created for Magic the Gathering. You see, for 4 mana you bring this into play, and then for an additional 3 mana and a tap, you activate it, revealing cards from the top of your library until you reveal a land card. Goblin Charbelcher deals damage equal to the number of non-land cards revealed this way to any target. If the revealed land card was a mountain, Goblin Charbelcher deals double that damage instead. Put the revealed cards on the bottom of your library in any order. So the trick of this is to get this out as quickly as possible, ramping up to ideally 7 mana that you can shoot off all at one time. Then we reveal all of our non-land cards in our library and deal 40 or 50 damage directly to our opponent before they really even have time to react. I remember in Legacy, about the only things that would stop this is if they had a Force of Will in hand, because you could go off on turn 1 or turn 2 very easily, or if they had the ability to stifle the activation. So Goblin Charbelcher got an unfair number of wins, even in very strong formats. Alright, so let's take a couple minutes and talk about the non-Belcher cards in the deck. The first grouping are 3 basically mana accelerators or mana shifters. Omen Hawker allows you to tap for a colorless and a blue, only spendable on activated abilities. Renowned Weaponsmith similarly lets you tap for 2 colorless, can only be spent on casting artifact spells or activated abilities of artifacts, which fits perfectly for us. Or you can pay a blue and tap, search your library for a card named Heartpiercer Bow or Veil of Dragonfire, reveal it, and put it in your hand and then shuffle. We won't be doing that. Lastly, in this category, we've got Reckless Barbarian, a 2-drop that makes a perfectly serviceable body if you should need it as such, but more importantly, you can sacrifice it in a later turn to get 2 red mana back. allowing you to shift mana from one turn to another, ultimately to get to that going off point with Belcher. The next category is all about treasure. We've got Gold Hound, a 1-drop that is in fact a treasure. Strike it rich, a sorcery which creates a treasure, and for 3 mana can be cast a second time from your graveyard using flashback. And then we got Creative Outburst, which does a lot of things, but we're interested in that bottom part where you pay 2 mana, discard Creative Outburst, and create a treasure token. So again, all 3 of these cards just about creating treasure tokens. The next category that we've got here are tutors. Trove Mage is one of those Alchemy 23 cards. When it ETBs, you seek an artifact card from among the top 10 cards of your library and shuffle. More often than not, we are going to be looking to get our Goblin Charbelcher. Also, Gold Hound is a viable option there, but a little bit of a fail case if we don't have a Goblin Charbelcher already. And of course, a new card from Modern Horizons 3, Glimpse the Impossible, 3 mana sorcery. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play one of those cards this turn. At the beginning of the next end step, if any of those cards remain exiled, put them into your graveyard. Then create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi creature token. So it will either function as a limited draw / tutor option for us, or as mana acceleration, and well, that's really, really good. Of course, we have talked about Belcher at this point, and for our lands that aren't, we've got Spikefield Hazard, Jawari Disruption, Hydroelectric Specimen, Sink into Stupor, Sundering Eruption, Rush of Inspiration, and Pinnacle Monk, all of which do provide some degree of utility if and when they're needed, and of course, they're also lands. Alright, so I'm going to throw the deck now up just against Sparky to show you basically how the mechanics of this work. And, well, we don't have a Goblin Charbelcher in hand, so I don't love this. Right off the bat, I think I want to fold it. And, well, there we go. We got our Charbelcher. What of this do I want to give up? I think probably the Gold Hound is the correct play here. Will allow a blue land to come into play now. This one will play untapped and get our weaponsmith down. He'll serve as a blocker here for a moment, just against this rush of things. So that actually gives us 7 mana next turn. So we'll pass. There we go, I dealt 50 something. The video moved so fast it actually glitched. And what do you say we do it one more time just to get a second go at it? What was that, turn 4, I believe, as the win? Well, we got 2 Goblin Charbelchers here. So yeah, I think we keep this. I'm gonna pay the 3 the Omen Hawker down. We'll get a second Omen Hawker. That actually gives us 6 mana right there. Sure, I'll attack, why not? Pretty sure we can just go off next turn with like no problem at all. Well, we are going to take 2. And here it goes. Another 50. Alright, so I know this is just Sparky and, you know, other decks are going to be more interactive, but we're very consistently going off on like turn 4 with no problems at all. So even with a little resistance, this deck should still have pretty good results to put up. And before we go, I want to take just a moment to thank my totally awesome patrons for supporting me and allowing me to apply my passion into a community. And of course, before we go, I've got some suggestions for your next step.